Welcome into the Winklerverse. I'm Bart Winkler, along with banged up Ryan Horvat today.
Yeah,
Oh, my guy. How you doing?
not good. Other than the arm, pretty good. On vacation this week, kinda came back home. I'm in Illinois for Easter. My wife, for some reason, really wanted to get home for Easter. I mean, she wanted to see her grandma, but I was joking because she's Serbian. So usually, like our Easters, I feel like are further apart. But Easter, I don't know. Easter's weird this year for whatever reason, man. I think like our Easters are only a couple days apart. So she wanted to come home. So back in Illinois, messed up my shoulder, but other than that, doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Looking forward to the draft and WrestleMania.
I still don't understand why Easter changes all the time. It's been
Right.
explained to me, but I don't get it.
Me either. I always forget too that it's not just on the
Yeah.
same day every year. Yeah, I don't really understand it. Usually I feel like we don't even do anything for Easter, man. I know my in-laws usually come up because Nathan's on spring break. But now he just stays home alone because he's 11 years old and we live in an apartment. So we know all the neighbors and Amanda's right down the street. So they don't come up for it anymore. But yeah, I don't even think we've celebrated the last 4 or 5 years. Now all of a sudden we're bringing Easter back. I'm all for it though. It's a trip back home. I'm gonna have some Portillos tonight. I'm going to Semino's Pizza. There's a free plug if you're in Joliet, Illinois. First pitcher of beer on me. Gonna hang out with some of my friends for the first time in a long time. I don't even think there's any good sports on. Is there even a playing game tonight? I should probably know this since we do sports.
No, and I have
Tomorrow,
to know
right?
this because my kid, to go to bed, we don't read books anymore. We just turn on a game.
Yeah.
And so the Brewers aren't on tonight.
Cubs
I
aren't
think he's
either.
going to be watching Royals Tigers on FS1 or Angels Rangers on MLB Network.
Good excuse just to get hammered, I guess, tonight because I won't have to remember anything in the morning.
Yeah, nothing's relevant. We are brought to you by Happy Place Hemp. Promo code is BART, 25% off each and every order. The gummies and tinctures and the big explosion in the market, the seltzers, which I am a fan of because, you know, most of my life I've ingested things in a drinking form.
Right.
So this is why I like those as well. So you can get all this different stuff, and the promo code's good every single time you use it. 25% off, even if you've been using it for 2 years. It still works, and it's still good. And a good reminder: with 420 coming up, you might want to stock up on your Happy Place hemp while you
Yeah.
can. 25% off. We just both watched Aaron Rodgers talk. Like, I'm almost Grant was telling me this, like, in politics sometimes you don't change, but everything around you changes, so you feel like you're on a different part of the spectrum than you were because everybody else moved.
Yeah.
With Rodgers, I feel like, I've been saying all this stuff about him, but now everyone's more demanding of him. Everyone's saying he's holding these teams hostages. He's a free agent. He's not holding anyone hostage. It's clear that he is going to take some time off to enjoy time off. He told McAfee he's got things going on. Either way, the roadmap leads the same to what I've been thinking is he's going to sign with the Steelers in the summertime. And nothing that he said this week changed that for me. So I don't know why people this is the same way he gets mad that he wants an apology for 2020. I want an apology for not being asked more questions about how I know what's going on here.
Yeah. I feel that. I'm actually wearing an Aaron Rodgers T-shirt, which I didn't plan. I didn't even know that he was talking today on Pat McAfee. But there's like 3 shirts right now that I could get on and off my head, and this just happens to be one of them because it stretches. Uh, but I mean, I texted you the same thing. I said I can't believe I just watched that for like 40 minutes. I also can't believe that he just gets to get away with saying like shit multiple times on ESPN at noon Central Time. But
It bothers me. He does call things bullshit too much. That bothers me, but also the fact that he can say shit.
yeah,
I can't accidentally say shit or I get in big shit.
exactly.
They can just say shit and fuck and it's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I don't know. I know a lot of people hate McAfee. I like McAfee. I do like the show. I don't really watch it though, to be honest with you, just because I don't have time to watch anybody else's show. When you have to do fucking 20 hours of content yourself, it's hard to watch anybody's show. Like I listen to your show the most because it's on when I'm driving home and I got a 1 hour commute. So I put you on. Or I listen to something on the way to work. But I can't believe that I just wasted an hour of my time because I knew one on a random Wednesday or whatever it is, Thursday today. I'm on vacation, damn it, that he wasn't going to just say, "Hey, I'm playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year." And again, yeah, like we're all around the same age, so he's probably not bullshitting, telling the truth. He's got some stuff going on off the field that he's got to take care of. Also, I don't care what he says. The NFL draft is coming up this week, right? So wait and see maybe what Pittsburgh does if they draft Shador Sanders or they draft Jackson Dart or one of these guys. Do you really want to go back into a situation like
No.
that where you're answering questions? Like he wants to go somewhere, be the guy, and try to win one more Super Bowl and ride off into the sunset. So I think that there's one realistic team right now, right? And it is the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's sure as shit not the Saints. So I think that that's what's going down, man. He went there, said, "Hey, I'm going through some stuff off the field. Me and Mia, whoever the hell Mia is,
Yeah,
uh,
that's a new character in season 20 of this show.
Mia
Jesus.
now all of a sudden." But he said he's in a serious relationship.
Well, he called her my sister.
I don't know if
And
it's
then who
with
the
Mia.
fuck is Tim? Tim
I feel
Boyle?
like I don't know. Maybe Mia and the guy that he kept talking about are like husband wife. Maybe they're. I don't know. Who knows with Rodgers, man? Who really knows?
Rodgers, he talks like how my grandma talks.
It was like
Like,
when he said his. It's like when he said his folks were in town, and we're like, "Oh, Rodgers is talking with his family again," and it was just like
no.
just like his buddies.
When you talk to your grandma, she's like, "How you doing, grandma?" And she goes, "Oh, good. Sandy came over and we talked and Charles couldn't make it." And I'm like, "Grandma, you have never told me who Sandy or Charles are in your life.
Yeah,
There is no context in this particular story.
yeah.
I don't know these people."
But honestly, like, and I get why people do hate Rodgers. Like, I totally get it. But I love him because, well, one, because he was the quarterback for my favorite team for 2 decades, and the last Super Bowl that I got to witness and enjoy with my family, with my folks, was watching him hoist the Lombardi. And I know there were some heartbreaking losses, but there was also some fucking awesome seasons, and him like running into the Bears stands and telling the fans that he owned them. Like that stuff was cool to me. And the guy's a hard ass. He's played like with a broken leg and tried to play through a broken collarbone. So I think he's a badass, and I like these interviews because he's so out there and so weird that I just watch it and it makes me laugh because what he's doing is just like fucking with all the guys that I would fuck with too. The Schefters, the Rappaports, all these little nerds. Rodgers is just shoving them in lockers, and he's out here talking about Mia, and he's talking about the pyramids. He's like, just all over the place. You could tell he's totally in the hitter box because he's like just talking circles around Pat. Who knows what he's even talking about, man? And he gave us nothing. But yet I was entertained for like 40 minutes because he's out there, he's shitting on the Jets, and the Jets are a mess. He
The
totally
Jets thing was interesting. I
he
appreciate
totally
it.
buried Aaron Glenn already. Like, so that's why I watch sports to be entertained, right? Like, and to me, Rodgers is like entertainment. He's not a robot. I don't care about J.J. Watt, what he's eating for breakfast, what he's lifting before CBS today. I don't care about any of that stuff. I'm more intrigued by Rodgers, high as shit, out on the beach, watching dolphins have sex or whatever he was up to today with his new
Now
dog.
that's what
Talk,
people because he said I see Dolphins very serendipitous. People
yeah.
are thinking he's telling us he's going to play for the Dolphins.
I think that he's going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. But you were on this, man. I was listening to you talk about this on your show, and I've said the same thing too. Why is he going to commit right now? Because again, and Pat said it, he was at like 95% of the OTAs. He missed like a week at 40 years old, and everybody's like, Rodgers isn't committed to the team. So, yeah, I mean, I got to be honest, though. If I'm in that locker room, you know, I mean, if I'm DK Metcalf, or George Pickens, at the end of the day, I want Aaron Rodgers throwing me the ball even at 41 more than I do Mason Rudolph. So I want him
Even
there.
with like 1 week of practice.
Right. Yeah, he could show up on game day, and I don't give like Rodman used to do, like go to
Yeah.
Vegas and then just show up and grab 30 rebounds. Rodgers could show up high on ayahuasca, and I'm not saying he'll be a top 15 quarterback, but he's definitely better than Mason Rudolph on his best day. But I could also see like dudes in that locker room, especially on the defensive side of the ball, the TJ Watt's like, fuck this guy. Like, no, we're trying to win. And, so I, we'll see. But I think he ends up being a Steeler. I just think it's late July, early August, probably, like you've been saying. And, because that's the other thing, dude. He's 41. He could wake up one day and just be
People
like,
sign now because they want to get to work.
right.
Rodgers, does he want to get to
No.
work? Does he
No.
want to get his ass in the playbook right now? No.
No. But, I mean, let's be honest. Like, if you're a Steelers fan, you want him to say today's the quarterback. You do want him to show up and learn the playbook. But at the end of the day, it's Aaron Rodgers, so he's going to do it his
End of the
way.
day, they're going 9-8 regardless, no matter who their quarterback is, no matter what happens.
Yeah. It makes me laugh. At the end of the day, dude, we got our own worries. Like, who the fuck is the Packers wide receiver number one? And like, are they really going to take another tackle in this draft? Like Sparky wants them to. I was on Sparky's show a couple of weeks ago, and I said that they got to go corner, and he was all mad at me. He's like, they always go corner, and I'm like, yeah, you know why? Because they can't find a fucking good one, dude. So, I don't. I think Rodgers is a Steeler. And honestly, I think they'll be good if he is a Steeler. I really do. As long as like the defense shows up. I mean, I like the Pickens move. I actually kind of like moving on from Najee Harris. We'll see what they do in the draft. But yeah, I can't believe I wasted my time watching that shit. I knew he was not giving us anything today.
I have breaking Bucks news.
Yep.
Damian Lillard has been cleared for full basketball activity.
I'm on this. So I've been on this. Now I was a little worried. I'm not like obviously name or an insider. I have no inside information, but I was like, the way they're talking, it sounds like Dame's going to come back for the playoffs. And so I bet the Bucks plus 185, and everybody's like, "Oh, idiot! You didn't see what the Pacers did to him last year." And I'm like, "Yeah, like here's the thing: Giannis has been dead in the playoffs really since the finals run. His usage is insane. So he's either burned out or he's not healthy. And I'm not saying he's not burned out this year, but I'm going to take the Bucks, even with just a 98% healthy Giannis, over the Pacers, who play absolutely no defense. And everybody on the network disagreed, so I feel really good about that bet. But then the next day, Dame got ruled out, and I was like, "Fuck!" And then I saw today that he's progressing pretty well. So game one is definitely out of the question, I believe, is what I saw. But then maybe he could come back after that. Yeah, I mean the Bucks aren't going to make. I don't think they could beat the Celtics in a 7-game series. I hate
Or
the
the
Pacers.
Cavs. I don't think they can beat the Cavs.
I do. I don't think they will, but I do think that they could.
Maybe I'm being hard on myself. Maybe because I've been so optimistic in the past, I just don't want to get hurt.
I think Doc Rivers really sucks. I think that's the issue.
I liked when Doc was like, people always make fun of me for blowing 3-1 leads, but they never give me credit for getting 3 wins.
I mean, yeah, like that was a funny comment. I'm just like, he sucks. Then again, though, like what coach is good? Because I thought Taylor Jenkins is good, and now he's working at the Dollar Tree. We all thought Monty Williams was good. He got fired. Nobody, for some reason, thought Bud was good, even when he was taking guys like Kyle Korver and putting them into All-Star games and winning championships. But like, he's clearly not good anymore. Who is a good coach? The best coach is Brad Stevens, and he doesn't coach.
Spoelstra's good in playing games.
Yeah, because he plays the Bulls every year. Don't get me. You know what? And I'm back home, and I turn on Chicago radio, and like this is so what's wrong. Like
They were all getting excited, even though they finished with the same record they finished the last 3 years.
Yeah, this is what I loved about being in Milwaukee, man. Right? Like the Brewers lose Game 7 in the NLCS, and nobody was like, "Hey, we're just happy to be there." Everybody was like pissed and upset. Right? Like here, it's like, well, they did beat the Lakers twice, and they did make the play-in. They were fun. Like, what about that is fun? You're the number 3 market in the world, and we just watched a guy who looks like Sean Hunter from Boy Meets World take 21 shots in a playoff game. Josh Giddey was 9 of 21. He was the go-to guy, him and Kobe White.
Now they're going to give him $50 million a year.
Fun? You know what's fun? Winning 10 games and getting Cooper Flag. That's fun.
Yeah, sorry for Bulls fans. We did do about an hour on the Bulls last night. That was unexpected.
Wow.
But that was fun. Just a quick draft note. The bets that I would make. I keep seeing quarterbacks over under 2.5. I'm trying to find over 3.5 because I like 4 quarterbacks to go. I like a trade in, and then I'm gonna put. I'm trying to save up on cash right now because I'm worried about the So I am going to put $10 on Shador Sanders to go 3.
So, I mean,
Plus 475.
yeah, yeah, I bet that too. So 3 weeks ago on the show, Travis Hunter was plus 650 to go number 2 overall to Cleveland, and they had Abdul Carter as the favorite, and I was like, they just re-signed Myles Garrett, and yeah, like it's cool to have 2 awesome edge rushers, I get, but Cleveland's been looking for a wide receiver forever, and Travis Hunter is like this dude that everybody at least did like. I know people are like mad because he just wants to be considered a football player, not a receiver or defensive back, but I think he's a good dude. Just wants to play football and fish, right? So I was like, the Browns need some good publicity because the Deshaun Watson stuff is a mess. They need a wide receiver. They could also use a corner to play on third downs, so whatever he is, I think they're going to go Travis Hunter. And I bet it plus 650. Now he's like minus 500, minus 600. So it's hard to say, like, that's my favorite bet. But hey, assholes, listen to my fucking show, and then you could have got that one, right? You got to get through a lot of yelling, though. But then Shador Sanders, number 3 overall. I'm totally with you, dude, right? Because, like, the Giants, are they going to – why would you take Abdul Carter? They were already top 7 getting after the passer last year. I feel like unless they're –
so Russell Wilson, and that doesn't matter. He's not going to
no,
be long-term Giant.
no.
Plus, some people say, well, what if the Giants are bad and they just end up in that position again next year? Well, then you take Josh Rosen, and then the next year you take Kyler Murray. Like, if
Dude.
Shador doesn't work, then you take Arch Manning or whoever. Like, it's okay. But when you're in this spot, top 5, and there's a quarterback and you need a quarterback, I think you take a quarterback. Is Shador the greatest quarterback to ever come out of college? No. But I think there's a lot of his game that you can't teach. I think there's a lot in there that you're gonna you got to teach some stuff. But even like Rodgers came out of college throwing like this, throwing like
Yeah.
Hunchback, a Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I think that I gotta go. I gotta do that tonight. I gotta get down there. I gotta get that in.
I think, like, honestly, that should be your big take tonight. Like, I feel like everybody is like shitting on the kid. I haven't really heard anybody as the Shador Sanders apologist or like make the case for him. And I think you should. I'm off the
I
rest
have
of the
been,
week.
but no one listens to my show, and I don't get invited to
Well,
conferences.
you and me have the same issue, right? Like God bless, we love our jobs, but like you want to be on at like 3 p.m. like noon too, when everybody's actually like listening to sports talk.
I just want admiration from people that I don't admire.
Yeah, I want everything, to be honest with you, but I really just want to be like what Nick, like with his shitty takes, like and not all of his takes are shitty. I do think Nick Wright's really talented. I just like LeBron is the number 1 player of all time, and Kareem number 2 is like makes me want to put a head through a fucking
I
wall,
saw
dude.
that.
Not even because I'm a Chicago guy. Jordan is number 1. Like if Jordan isn't on your, like I don't even want to get into that. But I just want to get to the takes first, and it's so easy just to be here's the Shador stuff that I hate. But so I'm with you. I think he goes to the Giants because, yeah, Russ Wilson's a 1-year, if even, option. And he's going to drive everybody in that locker room so nuts, right? Unless he gets like free Sierra tickets. And then Jameis would be the guy that I'd worry about just because his teammates are going to fall in love with him. Like his videos, man, I love that guy. But still, like neither of those, they're both in their mid-30s. So you go Shador and then you don't got to play him right away. And I keep hearing like the same stuff. I mean, he played behind one of the worst offensive lines in college football history at Colorado. And so he picked up some bad habits, like trying to turn like shitty plays, like, into something. And so he made like the situation worse. Like in the NFL, you could kind of survive on 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, but you can't survive on 3rd and 15. But again, he's going to be playing behind a better offensive line, you would hope. And I keep hearing like about the Dion effect. Like Dion isn't fucking LeVar Ball, dude, right? Like out there,
Yeah,
like,
he's
oh, I
coaching his
busted
own
Jordan.
team.
Like Dion is a Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowl, one of the best corners of all time that also played baseball. Like the constant professional. He was flashy as shit off the field. So like that doesn't make any sense. Dion has his own job, let's not forget. He's the coach at Colorado. And like maybe he is the coach in a couple of years of the Giants. But I just that's what I don't get is it's like, oh, Dion's going to be a distraction. Dion's not going to be at training camp. Like, you know what I mean? He's not going to have anything to do with that shit.
Dion
And
will
people are
be
like,
asked about. He'll have media every week, and he'll be asked about it a lot. so it's up to him to shut that down. But
Like,
he is going to be 4,000 miles away or
yeah.
1,500. I don't know.
But whatever. I mean, I don't think that's going to be an issue. I really don't. And so Cam Ward's going number one overall because he's got a rocket arm and because he's like, a dual threat quarterback, could run a 4.4, 4.5 and run you over. Shador is no longer going number one. Like, oh, that's what I think is crazy. All college season, we talked about Shador and Carson Beck that were going to be the number one quarterbacks taken. And then all of a sudden the summer hits, everybody falls in love with Cam Ward because that's the new age quarterback. Everybody wants the dual threat guy. Everybody wants Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Nobody wants Joe Burrow anymore unless he is Joe Burrow. And that's what I just think is crazy about Shador. He doesn't have like the arm strength. He doesn't throw the best ball, but the intermediate stuff, like he could be, I'm not saying he is Tom Brady, but like that's what guys wanted. That's what these GMs wanted years ago. You didn't want the running quarterback. You wanted the pocket passer. That's what Shador is. It just shows you how much the NFL's changed. So I still think he could be really good. If I'm a Giants fan, like I heard Costos with this take last year, and I completely agreed. He's a Giants fan. He's like, I don't want Malik Neighbors. I want Michael Penix or J.J. McCarthy. And some people would like laugh at that because it's not Trevor Lawrence or, like one of these big name quarterbacks when they're coming out. But yeah, I would rather have like the unknown of what J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix could be, then here's Malik Neighbors. He's going to catch 106 balls, but by week 15, Tommy DeVito is going to be throwing him the football on a 4-win team. Like, quarterback's the most important position. So I would rather take a shot with Shador than draft Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter is going to be awesome, but Kayvon Thibodeau is really good. And so is Brian Burns. Are you trading one of those guys? How many edge rushers could you get on the field? So I'm with you. Plus 475. I like that one. And then the other one I really like, I like the Bills plus 150 to draft a defensive lineman. They could, of course, go corner, but they got to get some pass rushers unless they're really going to rely on Joey Bosa to stay healthy for an entire season. Every year they lose in the playoffs because they're chasing down Pat Mahomes. They're chasing down Joe Burrow. Like the Eagles won that Super Bowl because they sacked Mahomes 100 times. So I could see the Bills going edge rusher, and that's plus 150 still, I think.
You keep getting your steps in, but you're not going anywhere. What are you doing?
When I walk?
Yeah.
So I like on top of like my whole shoulder thing, like my lower back is all like flared up. So I got to get up and like move around a little bit. Plus I ordered some food, so I keep going and checking out for the DoorDash guy.
Oh, nice. What'd you get?
Got Portillo's. I can't drive though.
Sucks.
Got a bum out.
All right, I got the Wrestlemania card.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look at night one. The ones I want to like talk to you for more than 10 seconds about are Jey Uso, Gunther, and then the triple threat.
Yeah.
But let's just get picks on the other ones. Unless you want to break down War Raiders versus New Day.
No, I think War Raiders win because I think Big E gets involved.
That's what they should do. Because otherwise it's just a weird part of the story that doesn't exist.
I don't even get why these teams are fighting. Like, do they even have beef?
Well, it's for the belt.
Yeah, I know
I was going to take New Day unless there's a Big E angle, then yeah.
I'm going to go War
Raiders. Is Big E going to wrestle ever?
I don't know. It would be a pleasant surprise, wouldn't it, if he was able to come back from this neck injury? But I don't know. They had that hillbilly, like the Kill Tony stuff that everybody loves, and he was like ripping his neck. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe he got cleared, dude. Right?
But if that's a feel-good moment, like the most predictable moment of the night is going to be when El Grande Americano gets unmasked to be Chad Gable.
I'm kind of messing. I kind of like that a little bit. I know everybody hates it.
You're going to look back in 10 years at this card and be like, who was El Grande Americano? Oh, yeah, Gable, that one stupid thing he did. So I got Rey in that one.
Oh, you're going Rey Mysterio?
You think Angle wins? Or Gable?
I do. I think El American Grande or whatever his name is wins. I hope he does. I wish he had a bigger match. I love Chad Gable. This is bullshit. They were like building him up, and then remember they had like the Wyatt family kill him. Like they showed the scene and he's dead. And then he's then he's losing to those guys who we haven't seen in like 6 months. And now he's dressed up as a luchador. It's like the blue blazer all over.
This is Rey having a feel-good moment written all over it.
I feel like Ray's won at WrestleMania every year since 2012 or something. I saw though. He even beat Dom.
I usually skip his matches. I don't really like Ray.
What?
Not into him.
Wow. I actually kind of I'm feeling this one a little bit, but I'll pick El American Grando or whatever. Gable.
One time at a Raw in Green Bay, they had him wrestle 3 times in one night, and I'm like, all right, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, that's a little much. Was it like the tournament or something? Was it a tournament? Why was he doing that?
Yeah, they did a tournament.
Nah.
It was after Punk left, and then they did a tournament, and we all thought Punk was coming.
Oh, and then is that when Cena fights him and beats him at the end? And then Punk did come out, I thought.
Not that. Not they don't waste it on Green Bay.
Oh yeah,
Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
Jade.
Yeah, you gotta think Jade wins that. Good build, good match.
Yeah,
I think it's the first women's singles match ever without a belt at WrestleMania.
think so too. I think they're both hot too, so I'll watch.
LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. I think they have to give it to Fatu.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. Did you know LA Knight is like 42 years old?
Yeah.
I did not realize that, man. He's been around for a long time. My kid Nathan loves LA Knight. In fact, he's got the LA Knight glasses, and he wore them last week. I
My
think
kid kind of likes Jacob Fatu.
who does?
My kid, his favorite is Jay.
Oh yeah, well, so yeah, Nate loves Jay too, and he loves Jacob Fatu. Everybody loves Jacob Fatu. You gotta have him go over here. I think he gets his first belt.
Tiffy Time versus Charlotte.
I think
They
Tippy
got to give.
Time wins.
If Vince was in charge, Charlotte is winning this match.
Yeah, I don't think he could have her. I mean, she won the Rumble though. Are they going to waste it? No, I think they go with. I think they
You
go
need
with Tiffy.
Tiffy to have a big beating Charlotte moment to elevate her.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially the way that Charlotte like buried her. I do like that they don't like each other though.
All right, so our kids love Jey Uso. During the Royal Rumble, he's rooting for Jay, and I kept telling him, buddy, Jay is not winning this. Stop. Yep. And he did. And now I feel like I have to talk him down because what they should do. I mean, I could see arguments for both what they should do. Jay, has been in this moment, so but against Gunther can't just be out there losing to Jay, with all due respect.
Yeah.
I almost feel like Gunther needs to kick the shit out of him.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a Gunther t-shirt. I'm a big Gunther fan. I think he's probably top 3 for me right now. I would love to see him just squash him, like murder him. Like they build him up. He wins the Rumble, right? They're doing the whole thing where he had the botched move and they try to turn it into a storyline, which was genius when you think about it. He's trying to build.
But if Jay loses, he's never getting a main event shot again. It's over.
Yeah, I just feel like, man, like he should have won the Intercontinental Championship or something like that. But he's in with the kids and the fans, man, and selling merch like crazy. But
he should have beat Roman, even though that seems more illogical. But that's who he should have beat.
Exactly, though. But I'm with you, not Gunther. I hate that Gunther lost to Sami Zayn. I think that's dumb. I think they should just have this guy like never lose. Because
where is Sami Zayn, by the way?
I don't think he doesn't have a match.
He hasn't been on the show in months.
I bet you he's probably like secretively the living shit out of each other in that match. I feel like, though, like, remember when Rusev, they built him up and he came out in WrestleMania and he was on that tank, dude, and he was undefeated and he was the U.S. champ. And then they had him lose to Cena. And it's like, well, now what, though, right? It was almost like when Goldberg lost to Kevin Nash. It was cool, but like, then where do you go with Goldberg? Because now he's beatable. That's why I never like that was the issue with like Bray Wyatt when he was the Fiend, or even Finn Balor when he's the Demon, because you can't beat those kind of guys. And so that's where I'm at with like Gunther is if he loses, where do you go with him? Because they did that thing after he lost to Sami Zayn where he lost his confidence, and that was so dumb. I don't want to see that. I want to see him like just like kicking the shit out of guys, saying really mean stuff to guys, calling guys like Damian Priest street trash, beating the shit out of the idiot Uso brother that keeps getting DUIs right in front of main event.
Gunther can say the thing that, like, if Cena were to say it, it'd be like, oh, Cena's burying this guy. Yeah. But if Gunther says it, it's like, oh, yeah, he is street trash.
Yeah, exactly. But I think he loses, dude. I think that they have to have main event Jay win. They had him win the Rumble, and also they keep bringing up he's like 0-4 against Gunther too. So what are you gonna have him go 0-5? So I think he's gonna beat him, and then I'm worried like where because you said where do you go with Jay? I feel like you could always have the underdog story. Like even if Cody would have lost to Roman the second time, we all would have been there the next year and the year after that. They do this in New Japan Pro Wrestling all the time. You cheer for the same guy for like 5, 6 years. It's like sports. It took the Celtics like 8 years to get a championship. Jason Tatum was 18, like 6 straight years. But I feel like Gunther has more to lose if he loses, because then he just looks like a big puss. That's why almost what they should have did, dude, is had this like as a triple threat match, right? And it should have been like Gunther, Jimmy, and Jay or something like that, or Jimmy, Karrion Cross, and because then you have somebody else get pinned, and then you
Yeah.
could have it like Gunther never lost the title, goes crazy on management, they suspend him, come back, build him back up. But having him get pinned by Uso, I think is dumb. But I do think it happens, don't you?
Um. God, if I had to bet on it, this is real. This is a hard one. This is as 50-50 as it gets. I guess my pick would be Gunther.
Really?
Unless it's, well, and I was going to say, unless it starts the show, but I can see logic for every way. I can see logic for either.
I do think it starts the show because the main event's going to be the triple
Or are
threat.
you going to start with a great moment, or are you going to start with Gunther and get the people mad about Jay out of the way?
Well, I don't think a lot of people are going to like the ending of the triple threat either.
Well, I'm not making a Gunther and Jey Uso prediction, but I'm going to prepare my kid for a loss.
Yeah, that might be all right. Yeah, then it's like we should start doing with the Packers every NFC Championship game instead of thinking that they're going to win.
Yeah.
I almost feel like, dude, if we just picked against them and just shit on them all week, like against Tampa and San Francisco, they may have won those games.
Yeah,
Definitely the Tampa one. But anyway, that's a story for another day.
so the triple threat where there's nothing on the line, but it's also very important.
Yeah, yeah,
Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins.
yeah.
Who is winning that?
Seth Rollins.
I hope so.
I think Heyman's going to turn on Punk, and he's going to turn on Reigns, and he's going to join Seth Rollins, and Seth's going to go full heel.
I like that Reigns has never beat Rollins.
So you think Reigns does finally?
No. No, I think Rollins. See, it's weird because Reigns and Punk, there's a lot there. Punk and Seth, there's a lot there. Roman and Seth, there's a lot there. Roman and every but then all together, it's like this kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean,
This triple threat would be better as them facing each other one-on-one in every scenario.
yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I think what they should have honestly did is they probably could have went like, I don't know. I think really what screwed it all up, to be honest with you, was not having Cody Rock or Roman Rock, to be honest with you, man. Because
Oh,
I
Rock's
thought,
got to decide if he's in or not. I mean, for him to be there at the Rumble and then he has not been around since, and he'll show up at Mania because why wouldn't he?
like, I'm going to be honest with you, I feel like I could have booked a better WrestleMania. The story should have been Gunther, this fucking badass from another country, is just rolling through everybody, and Cena stays the good guy for his last run, and we get the old America, like Cena versus Gunther. And then it should have been Cody against The Rock against Roman, Cody against The Rock, Cody Roman last time, or Cody Drew. And they should have had Drew be the bad guy. Like, Drew always gets fucked, man. And he's probably actually my favorite wrestler. Like, the CM Punk feud was great. I do think that something's going to happen with him. I think like he's going to join The Rock and them. I don't know. Something's going to happen in that Cody match. I don't know what. Somebody's going to turn on Cody or do something. But in this one, I think Seth just goes full heel. I think you got to like turn him back into a killer and not like the guy that comes out wearing the weird stuff, doing the chants. And I think that's what happens. And you put him.
So then who's he pinned?
But he doesn't need Heyman. I think he probably pins Punk because I think Heyman. I think Heyman turns on Punk. They're not going to have Roman eat 2 pins, 2 WrestleManias in a row. And then that keeps open. And then they'll do Seth versus Roman in a chairs match. I guarantee you. They keep like paying homage to the chair shit. I think that's what happens though. Seth pins Punk because Heyman turns on Punk. And then Roman's all fired up, but fights Seth in a chairs match. Yeah.
All right, I'll go Seth with you. I can take a
Yeah.
Seth. I like that.
Yeah.
Night 2, Io Sky, Bianca, and Rhea.
I'll go Ia or Io Sky. Yeah.
Yeah. Rhea
Probably
just
Rhea.
had it. I don't know.
She probably just wins anyway.
Fine. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez against Bailey and Lyra Valkyra.
I'll go Liv and the other girl.
Me too. I think AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I mean, they're not going to let Logan Paul win, are they?
I kind of think Logan Paul wins. Something with Karrion Kross happens.
Do you notice there's a thing that I saw, like every time Karrion Kross is like getting in somebody's ear, he copies his hairstyle to look just like them.
Yeah, I saw that too, and he's got the AJ Styles look. I like Karrion Kross.
But then I don't like that they just had him lose the other day.
Did you notice he like put his hands in his back? I feel like they had him lose on purpose because he's trying to build AJ up to like have him be the killer that he wants him to be or something. So AJ probably wins this match, but I don't know. I'll pick
I don't
Paul.
think they let Logan win. I'll take AJ. Braun versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic. Somebody's between Finn or Dominic. One of those guys is going to be good after this.
I think Finn's going to be the good guy. I think Dominic wins. I think he wins the belt.
Yeah, because all he has to do is pin like Penta's dumbass.
I think I think he'll pin Finn and like they'll turn on each other, and then I think Braun, because then I think Braun will probably be fighting for like the heavyweight. They're gonna build him up. He's not gonna be the Intercontinental Champion too much longer. Yeah, I think Dirty Dom gets his first belt.
I like that. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre.
Fucking, I can't believe Drew's got to be in this bullshit ass match. He better win.
Then he's trying to like. People are like, "This is a waste of Drew," and Drew's trying to justify it. And he did a worthy job, but this is a shit match for Drew.
It is. He always gets screwed.
One of my favorite things about wrestling is because this is called a Sin City Street Fight.
Yeah.
But wherever they're at, it's the same match. They just call it like the Milwaukee Mayhem fight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They're just it's always something like that. All right, and then Cody versus Cena. I don't you can't so the question for me is when does Cena turn back to a face?
Does he? When he
He's
comes
not
back?
retiring a heel.
You don't think so?
They're not doing a ruthless aggression pay-per-view with him as a heel.
I don't know. I feel like they do, man. I because like, how do you just turn him into a good guy now?
I feel like Backlash is going to be in St. Louis.
It's Cena Orton.
Yeah. That match has to lead the card.
I think what happens is I don't think they should pin Cody, to be honest with you. Like these shows that I go to and stuff, like Cody's the guy that stays after for 40 minutes and brings the fans out.
Like The Rock comes out and they screw Cody on a 2 count or something.
Like you realize like in real life, Cody is really what's best for business. And so I don't think that they should beat him, to be honest with you, but I do think that they're going to. And I think how it's going to happen is I think, like I said, I honestly think that either Seth costs him or Drew or somebody does something, but then I think they just beat the shit out of him after. And I think Cena wins. And I think Cody goes away for a little bit, maybe like a month or two. And then I think you do like Cena Orton. It's like the Cena go away party. Cena Sheamus, whoever else he wants to face. I don't know how they turn him back into a good guy though if they beat Cody here, man, because people are gonna fucking hate him. People love Cody, including me.
So then Cena's just a bad guy?
Maybe that's why I mean I kind of I like it, but like
how does he come back? Because if you're gonna have 20 years, his justification is 20 years of getting shit on by fans, and then you turn and say I've had enough. It can't just be a few months later where you're like, nah, you guys were right. I'm sorry.
Well, he might look at it like, hey, The Rock came back, played a bad guy, and now he's playing a mob boss in a Martin Scorsese movie, like 8 years after playing the fucking Tooth Fairy, right? So like maybe Cena's looking at this like, man, if I show my bad guy range, you know what I mean? Like maybe I'll be in a Scorsese movie and not, in the jungle in Jumanji 3. So maybe like that's one way of looking at it. The Rock does it. He comes back, he'll be a good guy, he'll be a bad guy. Cuz I feel like if anything
Mid
like
promo, he switches like 5 times.
like the real wrestling fans are probably going to like Cena more for this. Like if he came back and fought Gunther, although I don't know, man, because I feel like people hate Gunther, they'd probably like Cena. But yeah, that's why I'm actually intrigued to see what they do there. Like some of the card kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. Like nothing against like Liv
But
Morgan,
there's
but
a lot of I think there is a lot of the card may not be the greatest card ever, but there's a lot I don't think there's a lot like of predictability.
yeah, which is good. Other than I do think that you're wrong on Gunther. I gotta say I think Gunther loses, and then I'm worried he's just gonna be like, man, I don't know what they'll do with him after that. But yeah, I think if you beat Cody, I think he's got to go away for like a month or two. You got to fuck him up good.
Triple H said something that I liked. He's like, because The Rock's out there talking about the process of, the kayfabe's like ruined.
Yeah.
And all these guys are like bitching about it. And Triple H is like, you've got every retired legend on a podcast talking about their behind the scenes to their greatest matches. How is that not breaking kayfabe? Like, just because you retired, it's fine?
Exactly.
Part of wrestling is to have these conversations where we can predict the story.
No, I completely agree. The other thing we get in wrestling now is like a lot of these guys too just like absolutely hate each other. Like Rollins and Punk hate each other. Drew and Punk hate each other. Kind of like that.
Yeah, they're still like Then it's like kayfabe. Yes, expanded. All right, well, enjoy your Portillo's. It's good to see you.
Thanks, dude. Go Mania.
Hopefully, body's a mess.
Yeah, that part sucks, but hey, at least I got Wrestlemania this weekend, right?
Yeah, should be good. Should be good.
Go Bucks. Bucks in 7.
Bucks in 7. Ryan Horvat, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for stopping into the Winklerverse.
Thanks, man.